So the big tease that it's going to be later tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So Dylan, sort of talk to us about how you heard about this storyline. I mean, is this something where you have a meeting with Vince? Does a writer bring this idea to you? Talk to me about that.
So I get to the arena that day. Like I say, it was very close to home. It was about a 40-minute drive. So it's awesome that week. And I get there thinking I'm not going to be booked like usual in my hometown, which is always a bummer. And then our good pal, it was literally about 3:00, and they were going to start doing rehearsal for the final segment on Raw, the Vince's Son segment. And our good friend Bruce Prichard comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, I need your cell phone." I go, "Excuse me?" He goes, "I need your phone and I need to know where your bag is." I go, "What's going on?" He goes, "Well, hand me your phone." So I hand him my phone. He goes, "You're the son." I go, "What?" He goes, "You're the son. It's going to be revealed tonight that you're Vince's son. We need to know where your bag is because we're going to sneak you under the ring right now during rehearsal, and you're going to be under there until the end of the show." And I was like, "Okay." And I asked him, I said, "Hey, you can be right here when I make the call." I said, "Can I get 2 tickets for tonight? And can I call my dad and have him and my grandpa come to the show tonight?" And he goes, "Yep." I called him, and all I said is, "Hey, Dad, I would like you and Grandpa to come tonight if you could. It would really, really mean a lot, obviously." And Dad goes, "Yeah, of course." And then I gave Bruce my phone, and while they were ending the rehearsal for it, they went over it twice. And while they were ending the rehearsal, everyone was going to the back, and I like snuck under the ring, kind of in the crowd of bodies. And I was there, and then they found my bag in the locker room, and they delivered my bag underneath the ring, and I was just under there. And there was always a headset under the ring for me, for at TVs, for when I would do my segments and that. And so I get on, and Vince himself goes, "Hey, don't speak on the headset because we have producers and cameramen and writers and all of that on. Don't speak on here unless we're calling for you." And I was like, "Okay." So I was just kind of sitting in silence the whole time and just kind of waiting on this to hear what I was doing. And then Vince came on. I want to say probably the second match, probably after this segment, and like explained to me, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the segment," because he couldn't go over it with me during the rehearsal, obviously. And so he just told me over the headset about the whole the rundown of it. And then I was changing. I remember I was changing under the ring, and I was cruiserweight champion at the time, actually. So I had the title in my bag, and I was like, "Oh no, do I come out with it? Oh shit. Oh, had no idea, but I didn't know how to ask." So now I'm like back and forth and back and forth. And I remember pushing the button and going, Kevin Dunn. I go, "Kevin," nothing. "Kevin," nothing. And I go, and then it's like, and then he kind of pipes up at me like, "Hey, we told you to stay off the headset. What do you want?" And I was like, "I have a question." And he goes, "What?" I said, "Should I come out with the cruiserweight title?" And Vince then responds, "God damn it, great question. Glad you asked. Yes, you should, because that's one of the clues is you're a champion." Ha, good question. Good thinking about that. And I was like, ha, I fucking did a good job. I didn't deserve to get yelled at. So it was a really, really kind of a neat thing. And again, like I say, to happen I had my family there. I had friends there that had no idea of it at all. So for it to happen in Green Bay of all places is pretty awesome.
That's a great story. You know how I know that JR is doing commentary?
How do you know?
I've got my
captions on.
Got my captions on, and it just came across quicker than a hiccup.
Let's listen for just a minute.
The hook of the leg again got another near fall for Lance King. JR, thinking about what you said now, I realize what all of those things, that's what all the extra security is here for tonight.
Yeah, so you got Lawler and JR. We're watching a pretty fun match here between Paul
I
London
loved Paul London, Brian Kendrick, man. Paul London, I feel like him and Kendrick were like Young Bucks before they were Young Bucks.
Way ahead of their
on
time.
a national TV level. Like they just did fun things that you never saw before. And they were like, I always liked them because I was still such an independent and Ring of Honor wrestling fan.
Yes.
So even with the company, I was like, oh man, they're doing cool things on WWE that you never saw.
I like that. Sort of the precursor for the Young Bucks. And you never saw Lance Cade at all, did you, Tony?
No, not at all. Who's the big guy here?
His name's Lance Cade. He's no longer with us now.
Oh, Lance Cade's the big guy. Okay.
Yes. And the guy with the black hair is Paul London.
And who's the redneck with the sideburns? That's his partner.
That's Trevor Murdoch, the former NWA heavyweight champion of the world.
Of course. He looks like Dick Murdoch.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I get it.
And that's Brian Kendrick, a.k.a. Spanky, out there clapping it up. And the referee is John Cone, who's now in talent relations.
Lance Cade was trained by Shawn Michaels.
As was Spanky.
Yep.
I think Lance lost his battle with opiate addiction.
Yep.
Unfortunately, but a lot of people thought
still with the company. Then I can't remember.
I don't recall. I don't recall. Oh man, look at there! Look at the crowd pop for the London win. Man, can you imagine if Kendrick and London got hot right now? What they'd be doing in wrestling? Like
London's still killing it independently. Like still having really, really fun matches. I've been on a few shows with him. And he's still doing really, really fun stuff.
It's just crazy to think this was 17 years ago, you know?
Whoa. Wow.
I was a baby.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have been 20.
What was the name of that finish? Slice bread number 2?
Slice bread number 2, yeah.
What a great name for a finishing maneuver, too.
Yeah, and a great opening match, too.
Heck yeah. Beat the shit out of a paternity angle. Oh, here we go. We got Hunter in the back looking to see how he's going to fuck Cody out of the main event.
Well, let's track it
tonight, and we're going to find out who that is.
Shilling shirts, boy, that's not very cerebral assassin of him. It was a cool shirt, though.
Yeah, it was.
The Affliction days, man. Everyone had an Affliction shirt. Him, Jeff, Undertaker, Randy. They all had those Affliction shirts. I remember Cena was the only one who like did the basic shirts. And he goes, yeah, because I don't want to look like every other t-shirt at the time.
Yes.